All right, I'm going to give some of my initial thoughts on this game. We'll have Big Deke news tomorrow, but yeah, we got the win, man. That's really all that matters at the end of the day. Now, people want to come up with the whole theory of like, yeah, we got the win, but it cost us a lot. Like, dude, I'd rather win with TJ getting hurt or the other injuries that we had than lose. I don't think it's not like we did some magical trade like the Thanos trade for the Soul Stone or something. Oh, we're going to trade TJ Watt so we can get the win. No, I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that. TJ got hurt. The game was still going on. So would you rather win or lose? And those reports aren't sounding too good because they're saying he might have a torn pec, which could make it close to being out for the year. But I do still think we'll be fine. Maybe I'll talk about that later, talk about that more tomorrow. Let's more or less just celebrate the win and just talk about the game at hand. But obviously, TJ Watt getting hurt sucks. Cam Hayward getting hurt sucks. Najee Harris getting hurt sucks. Although, he didn't look right out there, man. He didn't look right from the very start. If anything, I thought Jaylen Warren gave us a little bit more in the running game or just being out there than Najee Harris because Jaylen Warren was also making some really nice blocks. Not saying Najee Harris wasn't, but I just felt like there was some more pop when Warren was out there. The problem is he's young still, not as proven as Najee, so obviously we want Tutu out there going forward. But in today's game, it was weird. Najee was weird, man. I mean, it wasn't completely his fault, though, too, because the offensive line was not giving him any running lanes. They didn't do too well. I thought they played a lot better in the second half. But yeah, there was still some offensive line woes that have popped up from the preseason in this game. Some of the penalties and also Mitch having to scramble for his life at times. Kudos to him because I did think ultimately he played well. It was a mixed bag because the first half, it's like, yeah, this is cool. I think we still left some points out there, but to be up in the fashion that we are, I will take it. But I do think we needed some type of second gear in the second half that we really never got to. And it's not all Mitch's fault. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe we're so used to Big Ben just being out there and clutching up, getting the job done, where we don't have to go through all this overtime stuff. Not saying that hasn't happened in the past. We went to some overtime games with Ben before. But how many times have we seen, it's almost just like secondhand. It's like, all right, Ben's in there, fourth quarter, close game. We got a minute or two left. We're getting this field goal. And Mitch did give Boz those opportunities a couple times. Ultimately, the one that we won it in overtime. It was the 52 or 53 yarder, but then obviously the other one was 55, and Boswell hit it off the upright. So, yeah, I just think I would have liked to see more out of Mitch, but overall he played good, man. Overall he played good. It's all about getting dubs. It's all about getting dubs, and that's what he did. But I couldn't have been the only one that was thinking, I wonder what Pickett could be doing out there. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag of both. We'll monitor it going forward. But then what else we have? Defense obviously played lights out across the board. I mean, you could name pretty much everyone on defense. Minka Fitzpatrick, pick six to start the game. Cam Sutton technically had 2 picks, but then we had the ball don't lie moment where Cam Hayward is able to pick it off. He was awesome. TJ Watt. Bummer, he's hurt, obviously. He was in midseason form. Alex Highsmith with 2 sacks early in the game and still getting a lot of pressure even when TJ Watt went out. I still think him and Malik Reed did a good job. Jameer Jones was making some plays. He had a tip pass. Front 7 with Hayward, Ogunjobi. We also had Tyson in there. Like, we were still getting pressure without TJ Watt. I thought they did a good job whenever he went out. And then secondary, they held their own for the most part. Now, it's hard to contain someone like Jamar Chase and just the Bengals receiving core as a whole. But I thought they did a good job. did a good job. And especially when Burrow and the Bengals are in, we just got to come back mode, and they're trying to sling it. You're playing prevent, you're playing off a little bit. So, yeah, they had a tough task, but I think they did a pretty decent job. So then with the defense, it's like they absolutely carried us the whole game. We gave the offense a ton of opportunities, and that's why I felt like the offense with Trubisky, we just needed a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Special teams, too. Special teams and defense, I would say, carried us. Boswell making the game-winning kick. I know he missed one off the upright. That's unfortunate. Still have to come back, and that's what he did. Drilled it, center cut. And then Gunner with the punt returns, awesome. Minka with the field goal block, the extra point block on McPherson to win the game after the Jamar Chase touchdown. I mean, just the whole it's basically like 2 games from the fourth quarter and overtime versus the rest of the game. It was so back and forth in that fourth and overtime. It's just like, just when you thought, oh man, it looks like the Bengals got it. Steelers are making plays. Something happens. McPherson misses one wide left. Minka blocks the one. Joe Burrow gets the fumble from Arthur Maulet. We ended up getting the ball back because they punted to us. And then Mitch steps up, man. Mitch stepped up when he really needed to in that final minute. So, yeah, we'll take the win. That was a really big win. That was a really big win. And at certain points in the game, you're thinking, all right, I'll at least take the tie just because this is a big-time AFC North division rival, and it's going to affect our record in a way better way than a loss, because who knows how that tie could help us. It helped us last year with the Lions. Yeah, it was a crazy game, man. Crazy game. Instant classic. I think we are going to stick with Mitch for the foreseeable future, but I was thinking at certain parts in that game, I wonder what Kenny would have looked like, because it wasn't like the offensive line was that bad. Now, yes, they were bad at times, and Mitch was still running, but that's what Kenny Pickett has too. He has that type of mobility. But I can also understand the reasoning for the Steelers taking their time a little bit with Pickett. But if you think Pickett can win games and is the better quarterback, just go with him, because I don't think the moment would be too big for him at all. I would have loved to see like a Pickett-Burrow shootout in that final fourth quarter overtime. But again, let's give credit to Mitch. 1-0 as a Steeler. That's it, though. Let me know if there's anything I missed. I'll definitely be doing a Big Deke News tomorrow. Apologies. I was going to do a Big Deke News preview this morning, but the Mad Dog from the Pitt game definitely did me in. Yeah, definitely did me in. Couldn't get off for it today. So I will be back and doing the normal previews going forward with the rest of the weeks and stuff. I'm still not over that Pitt game, though, too. And actually, speaking of the Pitt game, the refs were terrible in that game, but also they were god-awful in this Steelers-Cincy one as well. But good thing we don't have to use that as an excuse as to why the Steelers lost or why it was a tied game. Because I got to a point, I think, in overtime, at some point there, I did want to blame the refs for a majority of the Steelers' misfortunes. But it got to a certain point in overtime. It's like, dude, we just got to take care of business and close this out. No matter how bad the refs have been, we have had our opportunities. And eventually we capitalized on the very last one. That is it, though, for my initial reaction. Like I said, I'll be posting videos throughout the week. Madden, they got a Vic card out, Legends Vic card out, and also a Legends Rod Woodson, finally. So I'm pumped about that. But 1-0, feels awesome. Stay chilling, everyone. Peace.